is a presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are Arizona.
This D-backs homestand continues. Pink is the color of the day on this Mother's Day weekend across Major League Baseball. And tonight the Diamondbacks look for their fourth straight win and their third win in a row over the Pittsburgh Pirates. Taijuan Walker starts against former ASU Sun Devil Trevor Williams. We're set for D-backs baseball on Fox Sports Arizona. Good evening from Chase Field and welcome to the broadcast. Steve Berthune, Bob Brenly along the way. A very happy Mother's Day weekend to you and yours. The Diamondbacks come into tonight's game against the Pirates with the best home record in the National League. And Bob, their top three offensive performers at home are all in the starting lineup tonight.
Yeah, we're looking forward to watching them once again. These guys have been red hot here at Chase Field this season, starting with Brandon Drury, the hottest hitter at home in all of Major League Baseball with his .448 average, 12 extra base hits. Paul Goldschmidt, you expect him to do good no matter where he plays, but he's been especially good here at Chase, hitting .384. He's driven in 20 runs. He's scored 21. He's drawn 18 walks. And David Peralta said, that looks like fun. I'll get involved. .370 average with 12 extra base hits.
Mention the pitching matchup. Former ASU Sun Devil star Trevor Williams for the Pirates. And for the Diamondbacks, the big right-hander Taijuan Walker.
Yeah, he's pitched much better than his numbers indicate this season. If you look at his season numbers, 12 walks, 9 of those came in 2 ball games. He's been outstanding on the mound. His defense let him down last time out against the Rockies.
Pink is the order of the day here at Chase Field. We are just about set to go. The Diamondbacks and the Pittsburgh Pirates on Fox Sports Arizona. Arizona Diamondbacks baseball on Fox Sports Arizona is brought to you by Gila River Casinos. Experience winning like you've never imagined at the Gila River Casino, Lone Butte, Bequiva, and Wild Horse Pass. By Chaz Roberts Air Conditioning and Plumbing. Choose Chaz. By Oregano's. Step up to the plate for a guaranteed home run at Oregano's, your neighborhood pizza joint. Location statewide. And by CenturyLink, connecting you to the power of the digital world. Arizona Diamondbacks baseball on Fox Sports Arizona is brought to you by your Valley Honda dealers, where you get more standard features for less money. By Jack in the Box and the Jumbo Jack, a home run for your mouth. By Gigablast Internet from Cox. Welcome to the gig life. And by State Farm. State Farm is here to help life go right. Talk to an agent today or call 1-800-STATE-FARM.
Just about set to go here in downtown Phoenix. It's a Saturday night of D-backs baseball. Taijuan Walker and the Diamondbacks taking on the Pittsburgh Pirates. They look for their third straight win over the Buccos. First pitch is next on Fox Sports Arizona. Taijuan Walker and the Diamondbacks take the field here at Chase Field with the roof closed. We expect we'll open it up in just about an hour or so. Game 3 of this 4-game series against the slumping Pittsburgh Pirates, who have lost a season-high 6 in a row in 10 of their last 13 games. Here is the lineup for Pittsburgh, brought to you by your Valley Chevy dealers.
Adam Frazier will lead it off tonight, play left field. Josh Harrison batting second at second base. Andrew McCutchen out in center field. Gregory Polanco has been more than a thorn in the D-back side, not only this season but throughout his career. He'll be out in right field again tonight. David Freese at third base, Josh Bell at first. Francisco Cervelli doing the catching with Jordy Mercer at shortstop, and Trevor Williams, the right-hander, on the mound.
Your Ram truck starter for the Diamondbacks is Taijuan Walker, the right-hander. 3-2 in 7 starts, a 3.83 ERA. Taijuan pitched pretty well in his previous start Sunday at Colorado. Had some poor defense behind him, though, and got stuck with a loss.
He gave up 1 earned run in that start against the Colorado Rockies, and what else? It came on a Mark Reynolds solo homer. I think he hit at least one every game we were there. But other than that, threw the ball pretty good. Only 1 strikeout in the ball game. His slider wasn't as effective as it has been in some of his starts this year.
A look at the Diamondbacks defensively is brought to you by Nationwide Vision Centers.
Gregor Blanco getting a start in center field tonight. He'll be flanked by Yasmani Tomas in left, David Peralta in right. It'll be Jake Lamb and Nick Ahmed on the left side of the infield. Brandon Drury, Paul Goldschmidt on the right side. Jeff Mathis behind the plate tonight for right-hander Taijuan Walker.
Chris Conroy behind the plate for the umpires. He'll have the balls and strikes. The crew chief Jerry Meals is at first base. Tom Woodring at second and Ed Hickox at third. Diamondbacks on this Mother's Day weekend, winners of 3 straight games, holding the National League's best home field record. They are 15-6 at Chase Field. Adam Frazier steps in the left-hand batter's box, and we are set to go. The Diamondbacks and the Pirates, third of a 4-game series. Frazier just activated from the disabled list yesterday. 16 games, hitting 301 home run. There's a strike and we're underway. Major League Baseball honoring moms all weekend long. You can see all the special Mother's Day uniforms. The color pink is mixed into each team's logos and caps. We've got pink socks, pink bats, pink ribbon decals, pink wristbands, all to raise funds for the Susan G. Komen Foundation and raise awareness for the fight against breast cancer. Frazier being very picky up there. He's ahead 3 balls and 1 strike. Josh Harrison, who's hit in the leadoff spot the first 2 games of this series, in the 2-hole tonight. Frazier drives one to right center. David Peralta gets over there quickly and holds him to a leadoff single. Time now, BB, for your Valley Honda dealers. Key to the game.
Well, very simple tonight. You got a team down, keep them down. Step on their neck. Don't let them get any momentum. This Pirates team has lost 6 in a row. They're 6-15 on the road this season. Spank them a couple more times and send them back east.
8 games under 500, last place in the National League Central. But getting a good year from Josh Harrison, 290 and 5 homers. 1 for 7 in the series so far. He has walked and singled. Here's the bunt. Lamb at third. They move Frazier along, 1 down.
I would assume Harrison will be credited with a sacrifice bunt right there, even though he was trying to bunt for a base hit. Got a little too much of it right to Jake Lamb at third base for the easy out across the diamond, but Frazier does move into scoring position.
For Andrew McCutchen, 1 for 7 in the series. He singled last night, batting .211 with 5 homers. Remember last night the Pirates got 1 in the top of the first against Patrick Corbin. Wound up losing that game 11-4. A wild one here last night. Diamondbacks batted around in back-to-back innings, the 3rd and 4th. Here's that Taijuan Walker first pitch curveball. Frazier stays put at second. It's 1-0. McCutchen at his batting average at just under 270 in the middle of April. That's been his high watermark this year. But since then he's hit under 170. He has really slumped the last month or so. Taijuan's got it, and they got Frazier hung up. McCutchen's going to sneak into second as Mathis applies the tag. Well executed by the Diamondbacks. That was a play, Bob, last year that the Diamondbacks did not always execute to perfection, but they get the lead man that time.
Yeah, definitely got the lead man that time. You'd like to end it a little quicker and keep McCutchen on at first base rather than moving into scoring position, but ultimately they get their guy, get the catcher involved in a rundown. That's a way to get a sure out.
Dave McKay, Tony Perez-Chica in the dugout. So McCutchen's in at second, 2 outs now, and here's the troublesome Gregory Polanco. He's got 3 hits and 3 RBIs in the series. He's doubled and homered, hitting .250 on the year. Got that back foot right on the line in the left-hand batter's box.
This would be an interesting matchup. Polanco has obviously been swinging the hot bat for the Pirates, if there is such a thing for the Pirates offense, but everything has been down that he's hit hard. Real good low ball hitter. We know Walker likes to work that fastball across the top of the zone.
Well, he started McCutchen off with a first pitch curveball, did the same thing with Polanco. Both times he missed. It's 1-0. Polanco is a huge dude up there. Broken bat. Oh, what a play by Brandon Drury! And he got him! My goodness, Brandon Drury. We've seen this all week from the Diamondbacks second baseman. Diamondbacks coming up here at Chase. Wow. Second base, a natural third baseman, continues to improve. What a play that was to end the top of the first. And now we're set for the home half against your Ram Truck starter for the Pirates, Trevor Williams, an ASU Sun Devil. 7 appearances for Pittsburgh. Nearly all of them out of the bullpen. His only previous start Monday at Dodger Stadium, and he lasted only 3 innings.
Yeah, lasted only 3 innings. I'm not sure how much more he could have given the Pirates in that ball game. He got banged around a little bit by the Dodgers, gave up 8 runs on 7 hits in that game. But as you mentioned, pitching out of the bullpen, I'm not sure exactly how stretched out he was for that start against the Dodgers, but taking the ball here for the Pirates today.
He's been a starting pitcher throughout his minor league career. And they have an opening in the rotation, unfortunately, with some injuries, so Williams gets the first crack. Here's the leadoff man, the center fielder today, Gregor Blanco. And he looks at strike one, 94 on the fastball. Blanco 2 for 6 with an RBI as a Diamondback so far.
You see a 2-seamer and a 4-seamer from Williams. Also throws a slider mostly to right-handed hitters and a changeup mostly to left-handed hitters.
He's got that mid-90s fastball. Blanco ahead 2 balls and 1 strike. His 3rd start this year since he was activated following a minor league rehab assignment. Suffered a right oblique injury late in spring training. This in the air, pretty deep left field, but Frazier's there. 1 away. Your lineup for the Diamondbacks, brought to you by your Valley Chevy dealers.
Yeah, we've seen Gregor Blanco at the top. He'll be out in center field. David Peralta making his way to the plate in right field. Paul Goldschmidt at first. Jake Lamb at third. Yasmani Tomas out in left field. Brandon Drury flashing the leather in that top half of the first inning. He'll be at second base. Nick Ahmed at shortstop. Jeff Mathis doing the catching for right-hander Taijuan Walker.
The red-hot David Peralta, 304 and 3 home runs, having a huge series. Feeling healthy again after that flu bug clipped him for most of the last road trip. But David, 5 hits in the first 2 games against the Pirates, including 3 doubles.
Yeah, that flu you mentioned, we didn't know it, but Taijuan Walker was also affected by that flu his last start at Coors Field against those Rockies, which makes his outing all the more impressive under the circumstances.
Yeah, you said it. We talked about the Diamondbacks, the best home field in record in the National League, and here are the big 3 at home for the D-backs, all in the starting lineup tonight.
And we would have included A.J. Pollock and Chris Owings on that list, but neither one of those guys in the starting lineup tonight, so they don't get their pub.
A.J. getting the day off, something Torey Lovullo said he would do with both Pollock and Peralta coming off seasons in which they were out almost the whole year with injuries. Here's the 2-2 to Peralta. And a tapper foul right to Dave McKay at first. David .370 in his home park this year, including all 3 of his home runs. He's only hitting .190 on the road. I'd like to see that improve, but for the moment we'll take the .370. Up the middle and into right center. Peralta's aboard. Eye on defense for the Pirates, brought to you by Nationwide Vision Centers.
Frazier in left field, Andrew McCutchen in center, Gregory Polanco over in right field. It'll be Freese and Mercer on the left side of the infield, Harrison and Bell over on the right side, with Francisco Cervelli doing the catching for the right-hander Trevor Williams.
Here's another one of our top home hitters for the Diamondbacks. It's Goldie, .313, 7 homers, and leading the major leagues in walks. A pair of singles in the series. He drove in a run last night. Looking at Cervelli, Bob, behind the plate. If you think there's a guy at first base who might go, does that change the way you set up back there?
Yeah, a lot of times catchers will slightly turn their body to the right, so it doesn't take quite as long to get that ball back into a throwing position.
He's in a very athletic stance, Francisco Cervelli.
Yeah, with nobody on base, catchers try to get comfortable. You kind of sit back on the heels of your shoes and try to give a low target. But with the runner on base, you've got to be in a little bit more of an athletic position, be ready to bounce out of there should that runner take off for second.
He looks very springy back there.
He looked the same way sitting on the bench last night. He's just one of those guys. High energy.
A lot of energy. Cervelli sets up down and away. Goldie just does get a piece of that fastball, and look out in the camera well down there in the Pirate dugout. That was coming in hot. Peralta 4 for 5 in his stolen base attempts this year. 0-2 on Paul Goldschmidt. Tied him up inside, but he stays alive.
Looking back to that ball game last night, the Diamondbacks tied a season high with their 16 base hits. 12 of those came in 2 innings. It was the 5th time this season that the Diamondbacks scored 11 or more runs, and they were 7 for 15 with runners in scoring position.
And 10 men to the plate in the 3rd, 10 more up there in the 4th. 11 runs last night, all of them in those 2 innings. Another 0-2 to Goldie. Long set. Bounced a slider up there, a ball and 2 strikes. Trevor Williams' first start this season, transitioning from the bullpen back to a starting role. Did not go well, as we mentioned. Gave up 8 runs in 3 innings at Dodger Stadium on Monday, including 2 homers. And he strikes out Goldie, 2 down in the 1st. Got him on a fastball.
Hey fans, we invite you to participate in Gila River game nights by signing up at one of the interactive kiosks located right here at Chase Field during any D-backs home game.
Here's Jake Lamb coming out of his May funk. 3 hits and a pair of RBIs last night. 4 hits in the series. 262 on the year with 7 home runs. You get Lamb in the 4-hole and Tomas batting 5th to get those bats going, and you'll see some real numbers put up there. The way everyone else around them has been hitting. above and below. Jake, prior to Thursday's win over the Pirates, had been just 3 for 26 this month, and it struck out in more than half of his at bats at May, and then had a double Thursday, 3 hits last night. Lays off a changeup, and he's ahead 2-0. A view from the home run porch here at Chase Field. Bob and I broadcast the game there Wednesday night. It was a lot of fun.
Oh, and it's definitely in range, no question about it.
Well, it is when Jake Lamb is up there. He hit one over those seats and over the concourse earlier this year, 481 feet. That one would have sailed well over our heads the other night.
You don't think I could have jumped high enough to make the play?
I don't doubt you. You still got mad hops, as the kids say.
Man, you'd need a ladder to catch that ball out there on the concourse.
To Jake Lamb. Bounces one into right center. Peralta takes the turn. He's digging for third. There on the corners with 2 down for Yasmani Tomas. Jake Lamb's bat really waking up in this series.
He beats the shift that time. The Pirates had the shortstop Josh Harrison cheating over in the hole between first and second, which leaves a big hole back up the middle, and Jake takes advantage that time.
A chance for Yasmani. Singled and had an RBI last night. He's hit safely in 4 straight games, batting .257 with 6 home runs. Had a home run here Wednesday in that win over the Tigers. Trevor Williams in immediate trouble. David Peralta, a runner at third, Jake Lamb at first, 2 outs. Fastball missed inside on Yasmani, who's ahead 1-0. So Yasmani on this Mother's Day weekend yesterday had a teleconference with his mom back home in his native Cuba. Hasn't seen her in several years, but they're working to fix that situation. Hopefully soon. Cervelli sets up inside again. That one missed away, and it's 2-0. Trevor Williams, more than 80 minor league appearances, nearly all of them starts. Taking the rotation spot vacated by Jameson Taillon, who recently had surgery for suspected testicular cancer. And up until Monday, all of Williams' appearances for Pittsburgh had been out of the bullpen. .3-0. Having trouble throwing strikes. And the sizzling hot Brandon Drury is on deck. You can't get hotter than he's been lately. .3-0 to Yasmani Tomas. Taken all the way. There's the strike. Let's go, El Tanque. Big spot here. 2 on, 2 out. Ahead 3-1. Missed inside. The bases are loaded for Drury. Brandon Drury, 3 hits last night. He doubled, homered, knocked in 3. And how about the defense at second base as well?
Yeah, you mentioned it. That defense at second has really improved through a lot of hard work. This is a home run he hit in the ball game last night. Hanging changeup just absolutely crushed the left field. Everything he's hit lately has been right on the button.
Drury has homered in 2 of his last 3 games. Ray Searage, the pitching coach out there. Brandon Drury, as we showed you earlier, batting .448 at home this year. That is the best home field batting average in the major leagues. He's hit safely in 10 straight home games, 4 for 8 in the series. Peralta, the runner at third, Lamb at second, and Tomas at first. Bases full, 2 outs.
4th time this homestand the Diamondbacks have had a bases loaded situation. They're 2 for 4 in these particular situations, driven in 4.
Well, right now, this is the guy you want at the plate. Spits on a slider. It's 1-0. 10-game home streak. He's hitting over .460 during that streak with 9 extra base hits. As he steps in right here, he's got 8 hits in his last 16 times up. Fastball away. Brandon's ahead, 2-0. His last 8 hits, 4 doubles, 2 homers, 6 RBIs. To Harrison at second, and Williams walks the high wire but leaves him loaded. No score after 1.
Welcome back. This was the scene last night when Chris Iannetta was hit by a 93-mile-per-hour pitch, taking it straight to the face. He was in the hospital until 1:15 a.m. this morning and spent significant time at the dentist this morning treating broken teeth, a fractured nose, as well as several stitches in his lip after completely splitting it. The good news, though, he did undergo a CT scan. Everything there was negative. And not that we need to convince you, BB, that catchers are tough, but despite all of this, he still shows up today at the clubhouse and tells his manager, if needed, he could go tonight, but D-backs playing it safe and still evaluating him.
Big-time gamer.
Very, very lucky. And hopefully there's no more of that in this series. That's, of course, been an issue with the Pirates. Here's David Freese. And after Iannetta was hit by that pitch to lead off the 7th, Tom Wilhelmsen hit the Pirates catcher Chris Stewart in the 9th inning on the hip, and hopefully that's the end of it. But Chris Iannetta is certainly very, very lucky. Thank goodness.
It's hard to even imagine what that must have felt like. I mean, I've been hit by pitches, I've been hit by foul balls, but to take a 93-mile-an-hour fastball right in the middle of your face, I just cannot imagine the sensations that Chris Iannetta was going through at that particular time, and the fact that he was able to first sit up, then get up to a knee, and then eventually walk off the field. What a tough guy.
Called strike 3. Taiwan rings up David Freese, his first strikeout, 1 down in the second.
Freese, as we mentioned last night, just back off the disabled list, doesn't really have a great feel for the strike zone. That one looked like it dipped just off the inside corner of the zone that time, but he took some very hittable strikes in the ball game last night as well, just trying to find it again.
Yeah, Freese last night 0 for 3, struck out twice. First baseman Josh Bell, switch hitter, 236 and 6 home runs. Bell walked and had a 2-run home run last night. That home run has been his only hit in his last 18 at bats. But like most switch hitters, he's best from the left-hand side. A little under 260 over there. That one's fouled away, and it's 2-1. Fans tomorrow, Diamondbacks and Pirates, final game of the series, televised in Spanish on Fox Sports Arizona Plus. Coverage starts at 1 o'clock. That's brought to you by your Valley Honda dealers, the great Oscar Soria and Rodrigo Lopez, working Spanish TV just to our left here. Francisco Cervelli on deck. Josh Bell, only 24 years old, a former second-round draft pick. And they have high hopes that he'll settle in and become their everyday first baseman. Oh, just squirts that one fair down the left field line. Tomas over to cut it off. Bell digs into second with a double. That's his 6th double this year.
Defensive swing that time by Bell, really let that ball get deep in the hitting zone and just throws his hands at the ball, shoots it right down that third base line for a 1-out double. That looked like some of David Peralta's base hits recently. Wait and let that ball get deep in the zone and slap it through the shift the other way.
Francisco Cervelli, the Pirate catcher, 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts in the series opener. That snapped a 6-game hitting streak. He had the game off last night. Josh Bell at second and 1 out. Taiwan floats a slider up there and he missed 1-0. Cervelli 242 with 3 homers. Long look into Jeff Mathis behind the plate. Drives that one to right. Peralta backing up near the track, and he's got it. Bell back to second, 2 outs. Here's the shortstop, Jordy Mercer.
Shortstop, number 10, Jordy Mercer.
Mercer singled and scored last night. He was, or is, 1 for 6 in the series. Only 207 on the year with 2 homers.
And a base open here. Granted, it's early in the ball game, only the top half of the second inning, but you pitch this guy very carefully. If you can get Mercer to chase some pitches around the border of the strike zone, maybe you go ahead and try to get him out. But if you happen to fall behind, continue to pitch him very carefully because you have the pitcher in the on deck circle.
Lost the grip on a curveball, and Taiwan's behind 1-0.
You see that a lot from Taiwan Walker. First pitch curveballs. 22% of the curveballs that he's thrown have been first pitches. I think because he has such a reputation as a power pitcher that likes to throw high fastballs, he wants to give the hitter something else to look at on that first delivery, and if he can roll it up there in the strike zone, most of the time it's going to be a called strike.
Still looking for some kind of consistent breaking pitch. That was the slider right there, or the cutter that kind of blend into one pitch. He worked hard on the slider throughout spring training. And now, after falling behind in the count 2-0, they'll issue the intentional walk to Mercer, and they'll work to the pitcher Trevor Williams.
That's kind of standard operating procedure in that situation. Number 8 hitter to plate with the base open, 2 outs, pitcher on deck. You start the at bat, you pitch him extremely carefully, hoping he'll chase something out of the zone, but if he doesn't, you don't want to mess around in those 2-0, 3-1 counts, so just go ahead and put him on first base and go after Williams.
Stays away from the fastball again on the first pitch. And again, it's ball 1. Taiwan so far 26 pitches and more balls than strikes. This is the kind of situation with a pitcher up there 2 on 2 out. You'd think maybe he'll just blow the guy away with 3 fastballs and get out of here. On up to that one in 94. 1-2. Called strike 3. Went to the off-speed pitch and got him. Taiwan strands 2. No score here at Chase. The showstopper last night, a late one in San Francisco. Buster Posey, 2-2 in the 17th. And finally, mercifully, it ends. He almost hit it to the soda bottle out there.
Yeah, that was not a bat flip or anything like that. It was just a sigh of relief. Thank goodness this one's over. 5 hours and 28 minutes worth of baseball.
Unlimited baseball break brought to you by T-Mobile. Bryce Harper headed for free agency. Figures out his final year of arbitration. He'll make just over $21 million next year in Washington. I watched most of that Red Sox-Rays game today. Chris Sale is unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Just dominating, guys. 7 straight games with at least 10 strikeouts. And the Cubs, guess what? They have another really good young player. It's Ian Happ.
Homered in his major league debut for his first career hit. That Chris Sale, 7 straight with 10 or more strikeouts. Only 4 pitchers in Major League history have done that. Nolan Ryan, Randy Johnson, and Pedro Martinez. And Chris Sale has a chance to continue to add to that if he pitches the way he did today.
Nick Ahmed leads off the second. They were supposed to play that game tonight at Fenway Park. They moved it up to a 1 o'clock start this afternoon in Boston because there's some really ugly weather coming in that they expect will wipe out most of the games tomorrow afternoon on the East Coast.
You know, that's something we've seen this year that I don't recall ever seeing before in Major League Baseball.
Ahmed sends one down the left field line. Gone. Nick Ahmed is third. He homered here Wednesday against the Tigers. He's got another one today against the Pirates, and it's 1-0 Diamondbacks. Gets him started.
Oh, that hanging slider on the inside part of the plate, maybe even off the inside corner of the plate, just off speed enough for Nick to catch up and hit a line drive into the D-backs bullpen.
Jeff Mathis, the catcher. He sends one out to left center. That one's going to roll all the way to the wall. Jeff Mathis stops at second with his 4th double. Mathis has now hit safely in 4 of his last 6 starts behind the plate. The bat is coming around.
Got some backspin on that line drive. Looked like initially Adam Frazier might be able to catch up with it from his left field position, but that ball just sailed right by him all the way to the barrier.
Here's a chance for Taijuan Walker. Josh Bell, the first baseman, will come just about halfway in. Taijuan has not been putting up much of a fight at the plate this year, trying to avoid tweaking that back that he hurt early in the season. Here comes Bell charging from first, pulls back and takes ball 1.
Boy, Nick Ahmed with the leadoff home run here in the 2nd inning. It was a little closer to the foul pole than I thought. Ooh.
That's a jumbo jack. Free jumbo jack tomorrow with the purchase of a large drink. Archie Bradley in the bullpen. Here comes Bell again. Taijuan pulls back again. Throw to second, and Mathis just back in time. Mercer there covering. Got to watch that with Cervelli. He'll rise and fire back there.
And one thing to remember, as the runner at second base with no runner at first, you do not have to advance. If Taijuan Walker would happen to bunt the ball hard right back to the mound or to Josh Bell at first base, you don't have to advance on this play.
There's a strike, 2-1.
Has to be a good bunt.
Now, you don't want to get yourself thrown out at third with the top of the order coming up. Make the first out of the inning at third base. See Mercer staying close behind Mathis there. Freeze even with a bag at third. Bell coming in from first. Here it is.
This might be one of the toughest base running plays, especially for a guy that doesn't have great speed.
Oh, he's a catcher. He's got catcher speed.
Good catcher speed. But I mean, you want to get as much of a primary lead as you can and then a very aggressive secondary lead. So if that ball is bunted on the ground, you give yourself an opportunity to advance. If the pitcher happens to bunt through the ball, however, you're out there in no man's land.
Here's the 2-2 to Taijuan Walker. Missed with a fastball. Williams has not had good fastball command. It's 3-2.
Not at all. There's probably been more pickoffs at second base in this particular situation than any other count situation with runners on base. An obvious sack bunt situation with the pitcher at the plate, and he bunts through the ball, and that's when that runner at second base is really susceptible.
Taiwan takes a cut, stays alive. Well, Mercer, the shortstop, and he's got nowhere to go. He can just stay in Mathis's back pocket, which is what he's doing. Trying to keep him close. Once again on 3-2. Chopper to third. Freeze has it. Mathis moves up. And that worked out like the bunt. Taiwan moves Mathis to third. That's the first out.
Yeah, serves the purpose. A little topper to the left side. Mathis reads it well, realizes that the only play David Freeze is going to have on that ball is to go across the diamond, so he runs right behind him to the bag at third, and now can score. Fly ball to the outfield. The Pirates will be forced to bring their infield in. Really improves the chances here for Gregor Blanco.
Blanco flying out to left his first time up, getting the start tonight in center field. A.J. Pollock has the night off. Blanco 2 for 7 so far as a Diamondback. He's got 1 RBI. No A.J., no Chris Owings. Both those guys getting the night off tonight. Infield is in for the Pirates, as Bob mentioned. Blanco takes ball 1. Gregor Blanco, I usually think of him as a bench guy or the 4th outfield type, but because he's been so steady, he's actually started more than 600 games in his big league career, and about half of those have been in center field. So he's been a very productive player who, despite sort of that part-time aura about him, is usually in there every day. He finds a spot somewhere. Fastball up, and it's 2-1.
And the fact that he can play all 3 outfield positions makes him a very valuable bench guy. Get his occasional starts, much like an infielder that can play both second and short.
Bruce Bochy certainly took full advantage of that the last few years in San Francisco. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Hopped it up, foul ground. Mathis going to have to stay put, and that's a tough out, number 2. So now they'll need a 2-out RBI for David Peralta, who singled his first time up.
David Peralta.
Hey fans, anytime the D-backs score 5 runs or more, Taco Bell is giving away 3 free tacos with the purchase of a large drink between 4 and 6 the following day at participating locations.
Had double tacos last night. You needed 5, you got 11. Kind of encouraging that way, actually. If you look at the first game of this series, D-backs had enough pitching to win a 2-1 game, and then the next day they outslugged the Pirates 11-4.
Stellar defense in both of those ball games. We saw some really good defensive plays, especially by Brandon Drury at second base. An outstanding performance by Zach Greinke on the mound. I don't know how you can do much better than Zach did.
7 no-hit innings. Peralta down 0-2. Struck him out, but the Diamondbacks get 1 on Nick Ahmed's 3rd home run of the year. They lead the Pirates 1-0. this year has made it 1-0 Diamondbacks. Hey fans, you can add the D-backs pool towel to your summer collectibles coming up on Saturday, June 10th. When the Brewers are in town, first 20,000 fans get the D-backs pool towel, courtesy of Gila River Casinos. Now this is a quality item. This is a full body, really soft towel as modeled by the lovely Bob Brenly here. Perfect for the pool this summer. Get your tickets at dbacks.com. That has been given, or you have given that, I should say, your seal of approval. Right?
Oh, this is outstanding. Yeah. Very absorbent, very soft.
That's not like one of these little small hand towels.
No,
this is a big deal.
That's the real deal.
Adam Frazier, the left fielder, leads off the third. Frazier singled to lead off the ball game. Last night his first game back after missing 18 games with a left hamstring strain. Was not in the starting lineup against the lefty Patrick Corbin, but he's out there tonight against Walker. Frazier's a guy who this year's played everywhere. He started at 6 different spots. It's only the middle of May. And he missed time on the disabled list with that hamstring problem, but he's started games at second base, left field, right field, third base, shortstop. And he's been a DH.
Yeah, speaks to two different things. Number one, Frazier's versatility, obviously, and number two, the Pirates have had a lot of guys struggling, and they're moving Frazier around, trying to plug holes wherever they may happen to pop up. It's like whack-a-mole for Clint Hurdle this year.
Well, the biggest hole is left field, where they lost Starling Marte to that PED suspension, and Frazier, now that he's back, figures to see most of the time out there. 6th round pick 4 years ago out of Mississippi State. Just 25 years old. Hard to second on a nice high hop for Brandon Drury. He didn't even have to move that time. What a win. So you can see Brandon's confidence out there at second base growing almost every day.
That play he made to end the first inning on that smash by Polanco covered a lot of ground to begin with. Made a great diving attempt. Here's the play. He's actually fielding this ball past his body. Look at that. That ball was ticketed for right field. Polanco was probably figuring up his batting average on the way down the first baseline, and Brandon took it away.
Just looks more fluid out there, more at ease. Of course, he's a natural third baseman. Harrison had a sacrifice bunt his first time up. Swings at a high fastball and misses. It's 1-1. Josh Harrison's always hit well in this ballpark. He's hit safely in 11 of his last 13 games at Chase Field. Better than a .330 career hitter in this ballpark. It's a bouncer to third. Backhand stop for Lamb. That'll be quick. They get Harrison 2 down. D-backs fans, if you can't watch the games on your television, stream them live on your mobile device with Fox Sports Go. It's presented by your Valley Honda dealers. Just download the app and take Fox Sports Arizona and the D-backs with you wherever you go, just like Baxter does. Andrew McCutchen now.
Boy, Harrison made that play close down there at first base. That was a relatively routine ground ball right to Jake Lamb at third.
There's another one right to Nick Ahmed at shortstop. Taijuan Walker, 3 ground ball outs. There's your shutdown inning. He's got a 1-0 lead. Carving up the Pirates again. 1-0 Diamondbacks. Fans join the Diamondbacks Foundation and Fox Sports Arizona for the D-backs Give Back broadcast for charity. It's coming up on Tuesday, May 16th. Will help raise awareness and funds for the D-backs Youth Jersey Program and Goldie's Fun for Kids. Here is Goldie. Fans will have an opportunity to donate, receive the Ultimate Fan backpack or a VIP backpack with an autographed jersey in it. Coverage begins May 16th at 6 o'clock on Fox Sports Arizona. Goldie, a strikeout victim, his first time up against Trevor Williams.
Partner, I've been looking at that baseball on the left there, trying to figure out whose signature is that. It says mystery ball. Because that's
You're
one
right,
of the,
it does.
Yeah, that's one of the prizes. You can bid on a mystery ball signed by a Diamondbacks player. It doesn't actually say mystery ball on it.
Good thing. Goldie 0 for 2.
Yeah, for the last couple days I've been trying to figure out who is that.
It's like the picture that you get when you buy the frame at the store. The anonymous married couple in it and their small children.
A happy family.
Jake Lamb. Here I go, here I go, here I go again. Lamb singled his first time up. He's got 5 hits in the series. Squib shot right back to the mound. Williams, a little awkward underhand toss, and they just do get him in first. That was not an artistic success, but it worked out.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you want a pitcher to do most of the time, run it over there and give the first baseman a good underhanded toss. But that was a long way to run and a long toss to Josh Bell. They just do get it there in time to get Jake Lamb.
Well, Williams has now retired 5 in a row since the Mathis double. 2 down, bases empty for Yasmani Tomas. Tomas walked his first time up.
Everybody clap your hands.
Trevor Williams just turned 25 years old last month. He's from San Diego. And as we mentioned, played his college ball at ASU. He was a second-round pick as a Sun Devil by the Miami Marlins 4 years ago. Pirates acquired Williams just before last year. He pitched 3 seasons for the Sun Devils, went 12-2 one year. That is foul at third. More than 80 minor league appearances, nearly all of them starts. You can see why he was such a highly regarded prospect coming out of ASU after a 12-2 season. Second-round pick in the draft. One of the great programs in the country, Arizona State. Tonight, 50 pitches, only 31 for strikes. Spiked a changeup, and that one got Cervelli in the throat. That's why you look at that old drop-down thing that Steve Yeager used to wear for the Dodgers back in the day.
Now there's a way to cure that. Getting hit in the throat, chin on chest. Anytime a ball goes in the dirt, a catcher's chin should automatically go down to his chest. That'll cover that throat area. That time Cervelli had his nose up in the air a little bit, and that ball snuck underneath and caught him on the collarbone. Yeah, it has that bar extension down there at the bottom. The one you're talking about, Steve Yeager used to actually attach to the mask with a piece of horsehide, like you lace up a baseball glove.
Yeah, it would just kind of hang down and sway back and forth. That was kind of his trademark for those late 70s Dodgers teams.
Yeah,
just
like
that.
Yeah.
That's Chris Conroy behind the plate. I think Yeager invented that, didn't he?
I think you're right. Yeah.
Yasmani swings at a fastball down and away. Williams has set down 6 in a row, but the Diamondbacks lead it 1-0. A 1-2-3 third inning for Taijuan Walker. Our Cox high-speed highlights. He's become a ground ball pitcher here tonight.
Yeah, and spread it around. The first one to second base, that one to third base, and then Andrew McCutcheon with a ground ball right to Nick Ahmed at shortstop.
Going to be hard to top the ground ball clinic that Zach Godley put on here the other night. Zach will start Monday against the Mets. 6 ground ball outs so far for Taijuan Walker through 3 innings. And Gregory Polanco, who grounded out to win the first, will lead off the 4th. Roof is opening up here at the ballpark. Getting a lot brighter in here suddenly. The lights are still on inside. Polanco trying to bunt for a base hit.
First pitch strike there because Polanco tried to bunt it, went foul.
There's Zach Godley, who was outstanding against the Tigers on Wednesday night. 7 innings. He gave up only 1 run on 4 hits, had 6 strikeouts. And he'll start Monday against the Mets' Zach Wheeler. And then Zach Greinke starts Tuesday. Patrick Corbin and Matt Harvey on Wednesday afternoon. As this homestand continues against New York, Lamb's going to let that go, and he's going to have to pick it up. Broken bat spinner for Polanco that stays fair.
You could see splinters of wood flying at home plate as Polanco cued this right off the end of the bat. Split that pink bat the length of the barrel, but it's a little swinging bunt up that third baseline. I thought there might be enough side English to spin that ball over into the dirt and then into foul territory, but it stays fair the entire way. You can see the pink on the baseball from the bat.
Polanco continues to be a difficult out for the Diamondbacks. That's his 4th hit in the series. Here's David Freese. Struck out looking his first time up. He's already punched out 3 times in the series so far. Freese just off the DL before last night's game. He was out with a strained right hamstring that forced him to miss 16 games. Polanco 6 for 7 this year in his stolen base attempts. Oh, 2.
Hey fans, the day after every D-backs win, get 50% off all pizzas at regular menu price using promo code DBACKS50 at papajohns.com.
Good crowd here tonight. The roof has just been opened up at Chase Field. Saturday night at the ballpark. 0-2 to Freese. Off the mound, it bounces into right center. Polanco takes the turn, heads for third. Now Taijuan Walker took one off the foot Sunday in Colorado. Not sure if that one got him or not, but he is limping around out there. Here comes Ken Crenshaw. Taijuan just went through this, took one off the side of the foot against the Rockies on Sunday.
Breaking ball stays up over the heart of the plate. Yeah, it looked like it caught him on the left shin just above the ankle there. Ricochets past Brandon Drury on into right field. Give him a few moments to gather himself out there. I'm sure he'll probably throw a couple of warm-up pitches. He looked like he was indicating that he was all right and didn't need the attention out there on the mound, but as you said, given his recent history, getting hit on the foot with a comebacker at Colorado, you got to be extra cautious.
He's a big dude out there, 6'4", 235. Hard to miss when those comebackers go right back up the box. I'm not sure he's going to throw warm-up toss.
I don't think he's going to throw any warm-up tosses at all. Says he's okay.
Josh Bell, who doubled his first time up tonight, will be the hitter. He's got Polanco at third, Freese at first, and no outs. Bell homered here last night. First pitch curveball again from Taijuan Walker. He's done that throughout the ball game tonight. It's 1-0. This was Bell last night off Patrick Corbin. He's got 6 home runs, 3 from each side of the plate, the switch hitter. Taijuan's working himself into trouble here behind 2-0. That was that splitter that he likes to throw. Seems like he's going out of his way not to throw fastballs tonight. And again goes to the splitter. Swing and a miss. It's 2-1.
He's halfway through the Pirates lineup for the second time. See if maybe the third time through he goes to more fastballs. Really mixing in those off-speed pitches, especially early in the count.
Came in with a fastball at 94 and missed, and he's behind 3-1. Francisco Cervelli on deck. Each team now with 4 hits. Diamondbacks lead 1-0 on a Nick Ahmed home run, his 3rd of the year. In the dirt, nice block by Mathis, but now the Pirates have the bases loaded and no outs. Well, Williams in the first inning got out of a bases loaded jam. He had bases loaded 2 down, got Drury to ground out to second. Now Mike Butcher will try and figure something out here with the Pirates. 3 runners on and no outs.
In the open of the show, Taijuan Walker, only 12 walks in 40 innings coming into play tonight. 4 of those came against the San Francisco Giants in his second start of the year, and 5 more against the Nationals on that last road trip. So 9 of his 12 walks on the season came in 2 ball games. Every other game either 0 or 1 base on balls.
And Taijuan has been pretty consistent. He's held the opposition to 3 earned runs or fewer in 5 of his 7 starts this year. And he's got nobody out. Polanco at third, Freese at second, and Bell at first. The Pirates with the bases loaded this year, hitting only 194. Cervelli flied out his first time up. And again starts them off with a first pitch curveball.
The 9th one he's rolled up there in the ball game tonight. Only 4 for strikes, however. Did steal a strike right there against Cervelli.
Taijuan, for a strikeout pitcher, really has shown a knack for getting ground balls when he really needs them. A ground ball rate with runners in scoring position that ranks him top 10 in the major leagues. He could certainly use one right here. A floater is fouled off, and he's ahead of Cervelli 0-2. Mathis wanted it up. Got away from Taijuan a bit. It's a ball and 2 strikes. 75% of Taijuan Walker's strikeouts this year have come on that fastball, the pitch that he seems to be staying away from tonight. Let's see if he goes to it here to get the punch out of Cervelli. High fastball, a little too high for Cervelli, and it's 2-2.
Well, the number that really jumps out at me, partner, 28.7% miss rate on his fastball. Yep. League average is only 16%. He's getting guys to swing at his fastball and miss nearly 29% of the time.
Little cue shot to second. Ahmed for 1. They roll it. Polanco scores to tie the ball game. He'll take the 2 outs in that situation. Just mentioned that he's got a knack for doing that, getting a ground ball when he's really in a jam.
Another curveball. Fortunately, Cervelli tries to inside out that curve, hits it right to Brandon Drury at second base to initiate the easy double play, but Polanco comes home and scores the first run of the game, tying it up.
So now it's a 1-1 ball game. Polanco is home. You've got Freese at third, 2 outs, and here's the shortstop, Jordy Mercer. Now, you were talking about swings and misses with that fastball. Only 3 pitchers in baseball have a higher miss rate on their fastballs than Taijuan Walker.
And there's a lot of pitchers in baseball that throw a lot harder than Taijuan Walker. I mean, he's mid-90s. Occasionally he'll creep up into the upper 90s, but he pitches 93, 94 most of the time. And still gets guys to miss his fastball, mostly because of the location up in the zone.
He is really dedicated to that curveball tonight.
And once again, the no pitch intentional walk to Jordy Mercer to bring Trevor Williams up to the plate.
Second time Mercer has seen that today. Third walk of the game for Taijuan. Here's Williams, who struck out looking his first time up.
Even with the pitcher up, a first pitch curveball.
You know, he's only been throwing that pitch 10% of the time per average in each start, but it's got to be close to about 40 or so tonight. Fastball missed. It's 1-1. I mean, the slider was the pitch that he had really made some progress on toward the end of last year with Seattle. And again this spring with the Diamondbacks. And he's thrown the slider and the curveball at just about the same rate this year. But for whatever reason tonight, he's on a mission with that curveball. David Freese is the runner at third. Mercer at first. On the ground to second for Drury. He bobbles it. That'll score a run. Freese is home. It's 2-1 Pittsburgh. Well, we talked about this after Taijuan's last start at Colorado Sunday, when he had 2 defensive miscues behind him that really cost him the ball game. And this should have gotten him out of the inning with a 1-1 game.
Just didn't track it all the way into the glove that time. Hit off the heel and fell down to the ground. Taijuan's seen this movie before.
Yeah. You'll remember that 6th inning. Only the 2nd error this month by the Diamondbacks. That 6th inning Sunday in Colorado when Chris Owings booted the ball at second base. That should have had Walker out of the inning, and then David Peralta lost that ball in the sun. So that theme continues for Taijuan. As a result, Walker was not able to complete 6 innings in that ball game. J.J. Hoover came on, gave up a home run to Pat Valaika. Diamondbacks lost the game 5-2, but those 2 big defensive miscues really cost him the game. Here's Frazier. Check swing foul. This was Sunday in Colorado. Now keep in mind it's a very tight game. He got the first 2 outs in the 6th. Mark Reynolds comes up. CO will tell you he should have had that one. That's E4. Trevor Story, the next hitter. Peralta trips and then loses it in the sun. And Taijuan Walker had to come out of the game after that. Valaika was the next hitter. He hit a home run. Diamondbacks lost the game 5-2. The inning ends, but the Pirates take a 2-1 lead.
Because back home in Seattle, like Taiwan will have like all my younger brothers and I'm like, are you sure you want them all over at one time? Because it's a lot. And he's like, yeah, like bring them all over. And he's like playing video games with them, like turns into like this big little kid. And it's just so sweet to see him interact with kids. For as long as I've known him, always like talked about having kids, and like he was so excited like when we found out, and I can just imagine now.
That is Heather Walker, White to Taiwan, talking about what will be her first Mother's Day tomorrow, because she is expecting the couple's first child, a son, to be born this summer. And guys, Heather is one of 13 kids. She did promise me that they will not have 13 kids. However, they are excited for a big family. One thing that was non-negotiable, she said, when they found out they were having a boy, Taiwan said, well, we know he's a junior automatically, right? She said, I thought about it for a little bit, but we are going a different direction and trying to think of names. But we wish them the best of luck as they expand their family. And congratulations to all the expecting mothers. There's lots of them here in the Diamondbacks clubhouse.
There are on this Mother's Day weekend. Major League Baseball honoring moms all weekend long with special Mother's Day uniforms, and the color pink is everywhere. Brandon Drury will lead off the fourth against Trevor Williams, who suddenly has a 2-1 lead and has retired the last 6 he's faced. Brandon grounded out with the bases loaded to end the first. Brandon's hit safely in 4 straight games. He's had RBIs in 4 consecutive games. Looks at a fastball, and he's down 0-2. That's quite a conversation when you say to your wife who's about to have your first child, how about if we name the boy after me? And she gets back to you and says, we've decided to go in a different direction.
We've decided, yeah. And you know what Taiwan would say then? Yes, dear, you're right. I'm sorry.
He was outvoted 1-1.
Last name like Walker, you could come up with, yeah, Sky Walker.
Sure.
Wind Walker.
Wind Walker.
Jay. Yeah.
That'd be something if they named him Jay Walker. Here's the 0-2 to Brandon Drury. Well, what was the process like for you and Joan? Was there a negotiation? How did that work?
You know, for my daughter Lacey, we just heard the name and we liked it. And, you know, Michael, my father's real name was Earl Woodrow Brenly, but all of his friends, I mean all of his friends, called him Mike his entire life. So when we found out we were having a boy, it was a pretty easy decision to call him Michael.
Woodrow would have been good. Woody Brenly.
Woody. Yeah. Well, perhaps if we still lived back in the Buckeye State. There's a lot of Woodies back there.
You weren't naming him Bo, I know that. Drury gets off balance and strikes out. That's 4 strikeouts for Williams, who's set down 7 straight.
And Nick Ahmed making his way to the plate. It's now time for the mini Countryman player profile. Nick over his last 4 games plus this evening, 6 for 11 with 2 home runs and OPS of over 1,700.
Yeah, Nick, if you count tonight, over his last 7 starts at shortstop this month, has hit safely in 6 of them, including 2 homers. And a homer here Wednesday night against Detroit. Homered his first time up tonight. This was to lead off the 2nd inning, just able to keep this fair. Watch Archie Bradley in the bullpen at the end of this. And there it is. There's Archie, the bartender, Tom Wilhelmsen, Randall Delgado out there. I'm not sure about those socks that Archie's got. A lot of the coaches I noticed wearing those. Pink shoes, pink socks. Jam pop-up. Mercer's back there to collect that. 2 down.
I don't know if you had a chance to catch any of the Brewers game this afternoon.
Oh, I know where you're going with this. The catching gear?
I believe it was Jet Bandy catching for the Brewers. They had all pastel light pink catcher's gear. Shin guards, chest protector, and mask.
Yeah, it looked like a bad living room set from the 60s.
You'll lose your catcher's union card wearing pink gear.
Jeff Mathis doubled in his first at bat tonight. Jeff now hit safely in 4 of his last 6 starts. In fact, the Diamondbacks have not had a runner reach base since Mathis's double in the second that followed the Ahmed homer, as Williams has set down 8 in a row. Trevor Williams last season got his first look at the big leagues with the Pirates, and it went about the same way it's gone this year. 7 appearances, only 1 start. And that despite the fact he made nearly 20 starts in AAA last year and pitched pretty well. 9-6 at 2.53 ERA at Indianapolis. Lynn Hurdle saying he started almost all of his career, so there should be a comfort and commitment level from him and his body in this role as they try and stretch him out. Nice stop by Freese at third. Another 1-2-3 inning for Williams. He's retired 9 straight. Diamondbacks trail the Pirates 2-1. Fox Sports Arizona's Fan Express, presented by Cox Communications, is set to take you to a D-backs game. Stop by the Cox Solutions Store in Tolleson at 9897 West McDowell Road to register for a chance to win 2 tickets on the Fan Express. Winners will be taken from the store to the D-backs game on June 24th against the Phillies. But you gotta hurry. Registration begins this Monday. That's a pretty good looking bus right there. And we have a Fox Sports Arizona Fan Express group with us tonight, and there they are with the roof open here at Chase Field. Diamondbacks trail the Pirates 2-1 as we start the 5th.
Now that Goldie on the side of the bus, that's what he looks like to opposing pitchers.
Exactly. Just a gorgeous night at the ballpark. Roof is open, lights are on here. Taijuan Walker will face Josh Harrison, who has grounded out and has a sacrifice bunt. Harrison, McCutchen, and Polanco 2, 3, and 4 for the Pirates. Each team with 4 hits. Pittsburgh scored their 2 runs in the 4th. They got a run scored on a bases loaded double play ball, and then an error by Drury. Harrison shoots this one to the gap in left center, and it rolls all the way to the wall. He'll stop at second with his 5th double. Diamondbacks throw it around the infield, and they give Harrison an extra 90 feet.
Pitch up and out over the plate, and Harrison pulls it back to the gap in left center. I believe that Gregor Blanco will get hung with this error. He turns around and fires the ball back to nobody in particular. Misses both cutoff men. Nick made a nice play just to get there with a slide, but you could clearly see Harrison was going to stop at second base. Saw the overthrow and ends up at third.
Well, something about the defense behind Taijuan Walker just doesn't agree with him. E8 puts Harrison at third after the double, and here's Andrew McCutchen, who's 0 for 2.
We're watching Josh Harrison run from home plate to second base. He played on the same college team with Tony Campana. They hit 1 and 2 in the Bearcats lineup. You want to talk about some speed at the top of the order.
University of Cincinnati. Josh Harrison, a 6th round pick by the Cubs back in 08. National League All-Star 3 seasons ago, and having a very good year this year. 1-1 on McCutchen with Harrison at third. That one is hammered into the left field corner. Harrison scores to make it 3-1 Pittsburgh, and McCutchen has an RBI double, his 6th of the year. Back-to-back doubles open up the Pirate 5th.
It's been quite a slog in the early going for Andrew McCutchen, but got a breaking ball 76 miles an hour up in the strike zone that time. Those are tough to miss.
It's another curveball, another big slow curveball from Taijuan Walker. It's been blowing everybody away with fastballs all year long.
Yeah, coming into this inning, he had thrown 65 pitches. 38 of them were off speed. That is just so out of character for Taijuan Walker.
Got to be a game plan somewhere in there. Here's Polanco, singled and scored his last time up. I guess it's a fine line between sticking with your strengths and giving guys a different look. But so far, Taijuan's been on the wrong side of it. Trailing now 3-1. From the outfield grass, and they throw out Polanco. McCutchen moves up, and that's the first out. Hey fans, Game of Thrones night coming up at Chase Field. You buy the Game of Thrones special event package, you'll get a lower level game ticket and a super limited edition Taijuan Walker Night King bobblehead. Winter is coming. Limited quantities are available. Got to get the ticket package to get the bobblehead. So get on there, dbacks.com/GOT. Valor Morgulis. Here is David Freese. As you know, the correct response to that would be Valor-Doharis, which is Old Valerian.
Well, that's what I thought, but it was so obvious I thought it might have been a trick.
Probably. Just can't resist that. Fastball's in there, and it's 0-2.
Are there going to be flying dragons here at the ballpark for Game of Thrones night?
Only if there's a Targaryen here,
okay.
Because as you know, as we've discussed, only Targaryens can really ride dragons. Not sure if the Khaleesi will be here. She's not gotten back to us yet. She's busy crossing the narrow sea with an army of Dothraki after Theon Greyjoy went over there with his sister from the Iron Islands, and they're headed for Westeros.
That trip always takes longer than you think.
Yeah, especially with all those horses on the boats as they strike out Freeze.
Once again, going to the breaking ball. You see that over the top rotation on that curved ball, and David Freese swings right over the top.
Well, still a chance to strand McCutchen at third. 2 down now for Josh Bell, who was doubled and walked. Starling Marte out 80 games for that PED violation, and they're hoping that Bell can supply a lot of that missing offense. His second season in the big leagues, played 45 games with the Pirates last year. Still enough to qualify as a rookie this season. Fastball missed in. It's 2-1. See that wide open stance of Josh Bell, big guy up there at 6'2", 230. Used to have a big front leg kick. They cut way down on that. Splitters in there for a strike. Often when Bell bats left-handed, pitchers will work him inside with hard fastballs in on the hands. He's still trying to learn how to defend himself up there. They set up away this time, and they miss away. Another splitter from Taiwan. Full count, 3-2. Cervelli, the catcher, on deck. That has been the way to get Bell out when he's batting left-handed. Jam him with fastballs in. So he's shortened up a little closer to the plate, but they go away again. And he hits it up the middle, but Ahmed is there behind the bag. A nice stop by Nick. They strand McCutchen. The Pirates add one more. Diamondbacks down 2. Mother's Day weekend here at the ballpark. D-backs trail the Pirates 3-1. Fans not too late to make plans for Mother's Day. Tomorrow, surprise bomb with tickets to the Diamondbacks and the Pirates. First 10,000 moms will get to take home a D-backs clutch purse. It's courtesy of PetSmart. So get your Mother's Day tickets right now at dbacks.com. Here is the Mother's Day clutch as modeled by the lovely Bob Brenly. All your essential items in there.
Got the handy wrist strap there, so it frees up both hands in case you need to defend yourself.
I'm not sure in what situation you might find yourself, but It's good to know that that's available. Here's Taijuan Walker to lead off the 5th against Trevor Williams, who's retired the last 9 batters he's faced. The Diamondbacks, the first time through the order against Williams, had 4 hits and a walk, but nothing since. They've been out hit 6-4. They trail it 3-1. High chopper for Mercer at shortstop. 10 in a row retired by Williams. 1 down.
Center fielder, Gregor.
Didn't say anywhere in the promo it's good in case you need to defend yourself. But
Well, you know,
just an added feature.
fill it with marbles and use it as a weapon.
I'm not sure you're really embracing the theme of the Mother's Day clutch purse giveaway. Gregor Blanco 0 for 2.
Well, if it's like most mothers' purses, it would have
Gum.
children's toys and Kleenex and
No,
wet wipes.
That's a purse. This is a clutch.
Okay.
And the clutch, as Vanessa has explained to us, is only for the essentials. Credit cards in there, lipstick, keys, maybe some mints.
No marbles.
No marbles. All right, 3rd time through the order now for the Diamondbacks against Trevor Williams, a guy they've not seen much of. But he has gotten the early lead and he's held it. Right to Harrison at second.
Well, with 2 outs in the inning, it's time to take a look at our Geico This Day in Major League Baseball history. One of the greatest hitters in the history of the game. For the 6th consecutive game, George Brett gets at least 3 hits. Batted nearly 700 in a week. Back in 1976, he raised his batting average from 277 to 396 in 6 days.
Remember, there was the year they thought he might hit 400.
Yeah.
He was hitting, I think, 400 in August sometime. David Peralta has singled and struck out.
Six 3-hit games in a row. It's hard to get 3 hits in a game.
Imagine doing it 6 consecutive
Holy
times.
cow.
Peralta lifts this one deep left field. Frazier's got room. And he's got it on the warning track. Another 1-2-3 inning for Trevor Williams, who's retired 12 in a row.
The top half of the 6th inning. Hey fans, tonight at Chase Field they'll enjoy a post-game fireworks show, and on the 1st of July fans will enjoy the best fireworks show of the season, the 1st of July celebration. That's right, the D-backs are going to celebrate Independence Day early on Saturday, July 1st. 20,000 fans will get a State 48 patriotic t-shirt, and a post-game fireworks spectacular courtesy of Gila River Casinos. For tickets, visit dbacks.com.
Sixth inning had a big fireworks show last night here. Francisco Cervelli, who's 0 for 2, will lead off the sixth against Taijuan Walker. Diamondbacks trail it 3-1. They have done very little against Trevor Williams. He was not given up a base hit since Jeff Mathis's double in the second inning. Defense once again has let Taijuan Walker down behind him. A couple of errors behind Taijuan has helped lead to 2 Pirate runs. And that's the difference in the game so far. More fastballs from Taijuan here, behind 2 balls and a strike. That's in there for a strike, and it's 2-2. This is the Taijuan Walker we're used to seeing.
Just fill up that strike zone with fastballs.
He's been throwing an inordinate number of curveballs tonight. A steady diet of curveballs up there, especially early in counts, but mostly so far to Cervelli it's been fastballs. There's a cutter that missed, and it's a full count, 3-2. Bottom third of the Pirate order here in the sixth inning. Cervelli, Mercer, Williams, 7, 8, 9. Jeff Mathis behind the plate. Well, he got a fastball and knocked it into right field, a leadoff single.
Most pitchers will tell you they don't like this approach by a hitter. You make a good pitch like that below the knees out there on the outside corner, and the guy just shoots it through the right side. What you're hoping for is that Cervelli will get out there and try to pull that ball, roll over and hit an easy grounder to the left side, but instead he stayed on it, found the hole on the right side.
The shortstop Jordy Mercer has been walked intentionally twice tonight, with the pitcher batting behind him. Such is the life of the 8th place hitter in the National League. Always heard guys say that's the toughest place in the order to hit, batting 8th for a National League team. You buy that?
I first heard that from Joe Morgan when we were teammates with the San Francisco Giants toward the end of Joe's career, and I really hadn't thought about it much before then, but yeah, depending on the game situation, is the manager going to pinch hit for the pitcher behind you, or is the pitcher going to take the at bat? Is your pitcher capable of swinging the bat? Can he get a bunt down? A lot of things enter into it as the number 8 hitter, and there will be occasions where you're just not going to get anything to hit and you take your walk. There'll be other occasions where you're not going to get anything to hit, but you need to expand your zone and try to go out of the strike zone and get something to hit.
2-0 fastball right there. So along those lines, I'm guessing it's best to have a veteran guy, an experienced guy batting 8th if you can.
Usually, yeah. I mean, it would have to be a very mature young player to fill that role on any ball club.
Juan Nicasio, former Colorado Rockies, started warming up with the Pirate bullpen. Remember that Williams, who's on deck, has been relieving almost all year long. He's only had 1 start before tonight. So not sure how long he's going to go in terms of the pitch count. That one just missed Mercer. There's Trevor Williams. The Sun Devils pitched a terrific ball game here tonight. 3-1 to Mercer. In there for a strike, full count.
Well, you bring up a good point about a young player batting in that number 8 spot in the lineup. When you think about it, guys that get called up to the big leagues aren't the number 8 hitter at AAA. They're the guys that usually hit in the middle of the lineup somewhere. And you're used to batting 3rd or 4th or 5th for your AAA team. You get called up to the big leagues and immediately get slotted into that 8 hole.
Cervelli running on the pitch. They stay out of the double play. And they retire Mercer. I remember when Nick Ahmed first came up, he'd hit 8th a lot. And Chip Hale used to talk about that all the time. You know, it's really tough on Nick to try and get into some kind of rhythm, some kind of a flow offensively when you're batting 8th. Well, that's going to be the end of the night for Trevor Williams. They've got a runner in scoring position and 1 out. Williams, who retired the last 12 Diamondbacks he faced, will exit the ball game here with 1 out in the top of the 6th.
You see the big hug there from Ray Series, the pitching coach. Some of the other guys in the rotation, they appreciate what Trevor Williams did tonight under the circumstances. He's plugged into that rotation after pitching out of the bullpen most of the season. Did an outstanding job tonight.
John Jaso will pinch hit for Williams. 147 and 2 homers. He was 0 for 3 Thursday with 2 strikeouts. And there's the shift against the left-hand batting Jaso. Jaso right now stuck in a 2 for 20 stretch. Cervelli, the runner at second, 1 out. Diamondbacks have Drury, the second baseman, near the bag. Nick Ahmed, the shortstop, out there in short right field. Jaso's a very patient hitter. He's a guy who walks a lot. A high on base percentage guy. He will rarely chase or get himself out up there, so you got to throw him strikes. And he really gets up there and works the count. Takes a close pitch there, and he's ahead 3-1. Hits it hard toward the right field corner. Peralta cuts it off. Cervelli will come in and score, and it's 4-1 Pirates. John Jaso, the pinch hit RBI single.
And Jaso got a center cut fastball that time. Top spin line drive hooked over Goldie's head down into that right field corner. David does a nice job of cutting it off and holding Jaso to a single, but in the meantime, Cervelli scores.
Bullpen will get busy for the Diamondbacks with Taiwan now at 100 pitches. 4 runs on 8 hits for the Pirates. Here comes Mike Butcher.
Bit of a head scratcher tonight. Taijuan Walker and his approach to this Pirates offense after what we've seen from Taijuan throughout spring training and all season long. Just completely out of character to throw as many off-speed pitches, as many curveballs as he has in the game tonight. We haven't seen him throw very many high fastballs across the top of the zone at all.
That's how he's been getting guys out all year long. Sanderson, Ford, bullpen. Wilhelmsen, the right-hander, Chafin, the lefty. And here's the leadoff man, Adam Frazier, 1 for 3, a single in the first. Jaso takes off the throw from Mathis. Not in time. John Jaso a stolen base. Pirates trying to scratch across another run here.
Jaso with a hard slide into second base. He's lucky he didn't break or sprain something right there.
Could have tagged him in the hair. Able to stay on the bag that time. There's the splitter from Taijuan Walker. 1-1 to Adam Frazier. Dodgers are leading the Rockies at Coors Field. LA up 3-0 in the 6th inning. Padres and White Sox tied up 4-4 in Chicago in the 8th. Giants, after that 17-inning game last night, have beaten the Reds in San Francisco 3-1 behind Matt Moore. High fly ball for Tomas in left field. 2 down. Here's Taijuan Walker. 104 pitches now, just under 60 strikes. It's a very unusual game plan they tried to execute tonight. Josh Harrison doubled and scored his last time up. Jaso, the runner at second, and 2 outs. A run is in. D-backs led it 1-0 in the second. That one goes all the way to the backstop, and Jaso's at third. As Taijuan spikes that cut fastball or that slider.
You know, formulating a game plan against an opposing team is a lot more than just their strengths and weaknesses against your strengths and weaknesses. Taijuan's last start in Colorado, partially because he couldn't get any movement on his breaking pitches, threw almost all fastballs and splitters in that game.
Pitched pretty well.
And pitched pretty well doing it. But then you think to yourself, well, the Pirates are looking at that video of Taijuan Walker's last start. What did he do against the Rockies? He threw a ton of fastballs up in the zone. Followed that up with splitters down at the bottom. So, you know, if you're trying to think along with the Pirates, they're coming into this game plan looking high fastballs. So Taijuan tried to cross him up by throwing lots of breaking pitches tonight.
They retire Harrison. We'll head to the bottom of the 6th. Diamondbacks trail the Pirates 4-1.
It's time for the ash line. We call to the bullpen. Call the ash line today.
Taijuan Walker through 6 trails the Pirates 4-1. In game 3 this 4-game set. What's next brought to you by CenturyLink. The series finale here. Ivan Novo's had a very good year pitching for the Pirates. The former Yankee will be on the mound against left-hander Robbie Ray. Diamondback Live pregame show comes your way at 12:30.
Goldie leading it off for the Diamondbacks partner. And you think about moving forward with the Diamondbacks organization, and hopefully it won't happen anytime soon, but Goldie's going to retire someday. And every first baseman that comes along will be compared to Paul Goldschmidt at first base. Well, Josh Bell for the Pittsburgh Pirates has been compared to one of the all-time greats in Pittsburgh, Pops, Willie Stargell. We got some funny video from back in the day of Pops at the plate.
Well, Pop started out as an outfielder.
Yeah.
Played on that 71 Pirates team that won the World Series, but by the time they were the We Are Family Pirates in '79, the team that beat Baltimore in the World Series, he was the heart and soul of that team at first base.
Now, this is a video we were talking about. This is one of the funniest things I remember seeing. Just watch the look on Willie Stargell's face after this happens. Ball hits the bat behind his back. He looks at the ball.
Goldie hits one deep right center. McCutcheon's there.
I mean, Pops couldn't believe what had just happened. He looks back at the ball, he looks at the umpire, looks at the catcher. What the heck was that?
That's an old Three Rivers Stadium.
I mean, he was a captain of those We Are Family Pirates teams, and just the greatest mix of relaxed intensity. You know, when the game was on the line or you needed a big base hit, Willie Stargell's the guy you wanted up there at the plate. He was going to come through more often than not.
He handed out all the stars these to put on their caps. New pitcher, by the way, for the Pirates is Juan Nicasio, the former Rocky. Omar Moreno in center field. The Cobra, Dave Parker, out there in right. Scrap Iron, Phil Garner at second. Bill Madlock at third. Tim Foley at short. Catching duo back there of Ed Ott and Steve Nicosia on that '79 Pirate team. Bert Blyleven pitched for that team. Big Jim Bibby. Jim Bibby's a good comp for Taijuan Walker. Those guys have a lot in common. A lot of black and gold here tonight. Jake Lamb has singled, grounded out. And of course, everyone who plays right field in Pittsburgh will be compared with the great one. That right field wall out at PNC Park in Pittsburgh, 21 feet high, in honor of Roberto Clemente. It's a very nice touch by the Pirates. Guy who thought of that gets a gold star.
Pretty clever.
Yeah. Pirates have great statues outside that ballpark. One of Clemente and one of Willie Stargell. The Stargell statue is enormous, just like he was. Clemente statue right near the bridge there as we walk by over from the hotel every day. Jake lays off that high fastball as he always does, and he's worked it full 3-2.
I could still see Willie Stargell at the plate, the way he used to windmill that bat while he was waiting for the pitcher to throw the ball to home plate, and he wanted to get that one last windmill in before the ball was delivered.
That Pirate team, as Lamb works a walk, they were up against it in that '79 series. They were down to Baltimore 3-1, going back to Baltimore for game 6 and 7, and they won. There he is, Bill Robinson. There's the bat flip.
Windmill.
Played on the football field at Old Memorial Stadium in Baltimore. Down 3-2 going back to that series. They won game 6 and won game 7. Kenta Culvey closing it out. All those gold stars on the hats. Omar Moreno's got it, and the Pirates in '79. Sister Sledge on the PA. John Candelaria. You played with a Candyman, didn't you?
I played against him.
Against him.
Yeah, I had at one point I think it was 8 or 9 consecutive hits against John
That was
Candelaria.
it. That's what I was thinking of. There was some ownage there.
Yeah, and then he went to the American League to the New York Yankees, and I went to the Blue Jays as Tomas lines out to third. And it's going to turn into a double play.
That's the end of the 6th inning. Lamb had a walk. Tomas a hard hit ball, but Nicasio ends the inning. David Freese at third for 1. They double off Lamb for 2. Diamondbacks trail by 3. Offense going against these Pirates. They trail at 4-1 and on to hold down the fort. Our ash line called to the bullpen. The bartender Tom Wilhelmsen, who pitched the 9th inning in the game last night, his 18th appearance of the year, a 3.94 ERA.
Clean inning for Tom Wilhelmsen. He did hit Chris Stewart with a pitch with 2 outs there in the top half of the 9th inning. We got a ground ball back up the middle.
And of course, the Stewart hit by pitch. She's of course the catcher, and so maybe there was a little tit for tat there.
I think it just got away from it.
That is the standard line.
Tried to go inside and got away from it.
Hit him in the hip, as I'm told that type of thing is supposed to be done. After Chris Iannetta took one in the face, and thank goodness that Chris is relatively okay. Some lip and teeth damage, certainly nothing, no small thing, but it could have been a lot worse. McCutchen, an RBI double his last time up. He's 1 for 3 today. Now, we were looking at some of that '79 World Series, which was a hugely entertaining World Series. McCutchen sends that one toward the right field corner. Foul. The field conditions in that World Series, they wouldn't play the games now.
No.
Because in Pittsburgh it was cold some of those days. They played day games back then, and even in the afternoon that Three River Stadium concrete turf was hard as a rock, and there were wrappers blowing around all over. But then they went back to Baltimore, to Old Memorial Stadium, for Game 6 and 7, and the Colts had played some games there. And the field was all tore up. There was dirt patches, football lines on the field. This is the World Series. So you see some of the video or film of that series, and the conditions were just atrocious. One and 2 on Andrew McCutchen. That's foul. This is
just chaos after the game was over. Fans flooding the field.
Steve Nicosia, one of the Pirates catchers, their backup catcher there, sort of top left, just trying to get out of there alive.
Yeah, those are scary moments. It doesn't happen often. Certainly didn't happen very often in my career, but yeah, when you get a bunch of fans who have been imbibing for several hours, and all of a sudden they're down there on the playing field running around.
Yeah, that whole no beer sold after the 7th inning rule, that didn't exist then.
No.
That was only a couple of years after Disco Demolition Night at Old Comiskey Park. Here, a lovely, safe, cozy environment. Roof is open Saturday night at Chase Field on Mother's Day weekend.
Nice, comfortable breeze in the ballpark tonight.
Boy, it is beautiful, isn't it? Polanco continues to hit the ball hard. That one is right at Peralta. Nice running grab by David. 2 down.
And while we have a moment here, partner, let's take a look at our State Farm winning combo. The Diamondbacks bullpen in the last 11 ball games has been locked down. An ERA just over 1.5 in 35 1/3 innings. Opponents hitting under 200 against the bullpen. They've recorded 45 strikeouts in their last 11 games.
Look at the bullpen this year compared to last year. We know what it was like last season. Here's David Freese. And it's been quite a construction job by the new D-backs front office to bring in guys like Tom Wilhelmsen and Fernando Rodney, who got the save the other night, his 9th of the year. J.J. Hoover. They've used Randall Delgado well. They've created a new role for Archie Bradley. They really have rebuilt that entire pen in less than 1 year. Jorge De La Rosa has been outstanding back there. They picked up T.J. McFarland, who looked good before he went on the DL.
I think part of the reason the bullpen has looked so good this season is the fact that the starters have worked deeper into the ball games. It really makes a world of difference when you're working with a tired, spent bullpen as opposed to your starters going 6 or 7 or 8 innings every time out. Torey Lovullo can use the guys he wants to use, or whatever guy the situation calls for, rather than just hoping you have a healthy arm down there to come in case you need help in a ball game.
And it's been experienced veteran arms for the most part too. Wilhelmsen's been around the block a couple of times. J.J. Hoover had some great years in Cincinnati. Jorge De La Rosa certainly know what knows what he's doing, and you've got a 40-year-old closer with more than 260 career saves. Freese chases that curveball. Wilhelmsen 2 strikeouts. Another 1, 2, 3 inning for a Diamondback reliever, but they trail it 4-1.
My Mother's Day confession is I convinced her that a scratch on her car was because she backed into the hedges, not because I turned the corner at a gas station too tight.
The bartender serving up some laughs with that Mother's Day confessional, and the Diamondbacks will continue to sport the pink this weekend, celebrating Mother's Day. Tomorrow, the pink bats will be out once again, and Mother's Day celebration will be going to bat against breast cancer. Many breast cancer survivors and fighters will be at Chase Field tomorrow. In our pregame, we will be honoring some of the bat girls. We'll also have Amy Goldschmidt on our show to talk about Mother's Day and what it means to mothers inside of this clubhouse. And guys, as you know, it's just a big celebration around the league when you celebrate those special people who are probably the first to drive them to those baseball practices.
All to raise funds for the Susan G. Komen Foundation and raise awareness for the fight against breast cancer. Pink all over the ballpark all weekend long. Brandon Drury has a base hit, knocks it into left center. Leadoff man aboard for the Diamondbacks here in the 7th. Branda's now hit safely in 11 straight home games. That brings up Nick Ahmed, who's knocked in the Diamondbacks' only run tonight. Chaz Roberts, air conditioning and plumbing, cool play of the game. Nick, a home run to lead off the second, his 3rd of the year. Big celebration in the bullpen with Archie Bradley and Tom Wilhelmsen. Ocasio fastball, swing and a miss, and it's 0-1. Nick, over his last 7 starts at shortstop all this month, has hit safely in 6 of them, including a double and 2 home runs. Nick Ahmed admitted the other day, sharing the shortstop job with Chris Owings is not something he particularly likes. It's definitely a kind of a new role for him, and sometimes he'll look at the lineup card, he's not on it, and gets a little bummed out because he's always been an everyday player, although with some illness and time off elsewhere around the field, it's translated certainly to increased playing time lately, and that's playing time that Torey Lovullo says Nick has earned. And he's certainly hitting that way as of late. 1 and 2. They do not consider him a bench player. For Torey, that's a guy who plays occasionally, a guy who's there in case someone else can't go. He doesn't see Nick Ahmed as that type of player.
Well, and the versatility of Chris Owings allows Torrey the opportunity from time to time to send CO out to right field or center field and get Nick in there at shortstop for a day or two. David Peralta was down with the flu last week. CO found himself out in right field quite a bit, and Nick got some regular at bats.
And you're seeing the results. He's hitting over 260 now. Looks at a fastball, and it's 2-2. Got to be a correlation there. He's playing just about every day the last week or so. The batting average is shooting way up. Jeff Mathis, the catcher, on deck. Jeff doubled in the second. He's 1 for 2 tonight. D-backs down 3. They've been out hit 8-5. Late time granted by Chris Conroy back there. It's good to see Nick healthy after that hip problem that nagged him all last year. Only played 90 games last season. That right hip. Tried to play through it for the first half of the year. Finally had to give in. Didn't play a game after July 22nd last season. But healthy again this year. Squib shot foul. It's still 2-2.
Yeah, because Nick hit that leadoff home run in the second inning. That means you get a free jumbo jack tomorrow at participating Jack in the Box locations with the purchase of a large drink.
Two and 2 to Nick Ahmed. Cervelli can't get a glove on that high fastball, and Drury moves up. Full count on Nick, 3-2. Juan Nicasio. Remember him from the Colorado Rockies. Retired all 3 Diamondback hitters he faced in Thursday's series opener. He's only been scored on once in his last 11 appearances. He's been really good for Clint Hurdle out of the bullpen. But he's got Drury at second, nobody out, a 3-2 count on Nick Ahmed. Bullpen will get busy again. Felipe Rivero. Coming at you. That one hit our pink bat.
A foul ball at the plate and a foul ball in the booth.
Split the difference. Good thing we got the pink bat up here. Ahmed on the ground to Harrison. This will move Drury along. One away. One of our, I think that might be our second booth souvenir this year.
We're going to try to give it to a kid down here.
Oh, all right.
Give it to the kid. Give it to the kid.
I may take this bat, go next door, have a conversation with Candy. Been wanting to do that for a while. Jeff Mathis. Pitcher spot up next. Daniel Descalso in the on-deck circle. Broken bat, squib shot. Drury's got to hold up. Nobody's at first base. Osuna came in to relieve Josh Bell at first. They got caught in between. Brandon stayed put where he was halfway home. He's still at third. And Mathis gets a, we'll call it a single, I guess.
Line drive to the right side.
That's
is
right.
what we're going to call it. Boy, he got jammed badly. Hand right in on his hands. Then a little blooper over there. Ocasio wasn't sure what to do. Bell comes in to field the ball, but nobody covers first base.
And now Descalso will be recalled, and Chris Owings will take the at-bat. Chance to get right back in the ball game right here. CO 310 and 5 homers. He has singled and doubled in the series. Drove in a run last night. He's got Drury at third and Mathis at first with 1 out. And here comes Clint Hurdle. Double switch in the works as Ngope is going to come in and take over for David Freese. Pitching change. Diamondbacks have a threat going in the 7th, down 4-1. Back after this.
Entering the game now at second base, number 61, Ngope. Moving from second base to third base, number 5, Josh Harrison is now
back at Chase Field. Diamondbacks down 4-1, but they've got the tying run at the plate with 1 out.
Number 6.
Big changes for the Pirates. Let's start on the mound. Here is Felipe Rivera. Look at that ERA. In 19 appearances, it's less than a half. If Ngope checks into the game, he takes over at second base. Josh Harrison moves over second to third, replacing David Freese, so they double switch that way. And the pitcher spot is now 5th in the Pirate order, and Ngope will bat 9th. Chris Owings hits for the pitcher, Tom Wilhelmsen. Brandon Drury is the runner at third. Jeff Mathis at first. 2 outs, or 1 out, pardon me. 1 out. .99 miles an hour. That's why Rivero has that ERA.
Yeah, big fastball, has a real good straight changeup to go along with it. We'll throw an occasional slider. This guy throws a lot of strikes. Only 4 base on balls to go along with his 20 punch outs on the season. He's pitched in 19 of the first 36 games for the Pirates this year.
19 appearances. He's given up 1 earned run. .102 up.
Here comes the Rivero changeup. Chris Owings is a good high fastball hitter. I'm not sure if 102 miles an hour is on his menu, but if he could catch up to one of those upper 90s fastballs up in the zone, he could put a charge in.
Tie the game up with 1 swing. CO's next home run would tie his career high for a season with 6. popped up, foul ground, first base side. Ozuna's over there. Drury holds at third. A.J. Pollock will bat for Gregor Blanco. A.J. not in the original starting lineup. Supposed to be a night off, but you got a left-hander out there. So Blanco sits, Pollock hits. 299 and 2 homers. He had a pair of hits last night, including an RBI triple.
That's why most managers don't refer to it as an off day. You're just not in the starting lineup. You may be used at some point. As a matter of fact, coming off the bench, you can be used where you are the most dangerous and the most valuable to your team.
Now A.J. will chase a hard fastball out of the strike zone. He's got to watch out for that. Here's his triple last night. In the leadoff spot. An RBI triple in the third, part of that 7-run Diamondback third. He then singled and scored in the fourth. Well, that has been the way to get A.J. Pollock out so far this year. Hard fastballs, 95 and up, out of the strike zone. And I'm guessing at 102 already, Rivero's got that. Went to the changeup at 89, and A.J.'s ahead 2-0. Got that fastball in there at 101. A.J. has had 2 hits each in 3 of his last 4 games. Big spot right here, 2 on and 2 out, down 3. Another changeup, but he missed again. 3 balls and 1 strike. Peralta on deck.
I mentioned he had a good changeup to go along with that 100-mile-an-hour fastball, but he's had trouble locating that changeup here. Left a lot of them up and away from right-handed hitters.
He's got a lefty on deck. Skies it way up into a light sky. Harrison foul ground at third. And the Diamondbacks strand 2. We'll head to the 8th inning. They trail the Pirates 4-1. Saturday night in downtown Phoenix, the Diamondbacks trail the Pirates 4-1, and on this Mother's Day weekend we have some very, very sad news that we want to pass along, and we wish our sincere and heartfelt condolences to the family of Roger Riley. Roger, of course, is the Diamondbacks senior director of team travel, the home clubhouse manager. His mom Millie has been a very, very enthusiastic Diamondback fan for a long time. Roger now in his 20th season with the Diamondbacks, and Roger's mom Millie passed away this afternoon on this Mother's Day weekend, and so we wish Roger all the best, his wife Kimberly, and I've met Millie a number of times, and it's just really, really sad.
It really is. She was such a big fan, and she always used to sit right down behind the Diamondbacks on deck circle when she would come to games when I was managing, and I think she really enjoyed it when I got ejected, because she'd give me a thumbs up as I was heading back to the clubhouse. But she'll be sorely missed, and certainly our condolences go out to the Riley family.
Jose Osuna leads off the 8th inning against your new Diamondback pitcher, is the lefty Andrew Chafin. Andrew's 16th appearance at 2.38 ERA. A.J. Pollock remains in the game after pinch hitting for Gregor Blanco. He's out there in center. Out of play, 2-2. Used to talk to Millie all the time, different social events, and she'd be so excited about the team, and when things were bad she was optimistic about the team, and when things were good she was all excited. So she will be sorely missed. Chafin comes in, strikes out Osuna. One down in the 8th.
I think Osuna's trying to insist that he got a piece of that ball. Breaking ball from Andrew Chafin, working its way down and in toward that back foot. Ball hitting the
catcher, Francisco Cervelli.
There's the catcher, Cervelli. And Hurdle and his bench coach Tom Prince down there. Cervelli singled and scored his last time up. He's 1 for 3 tonight.
It appeared that Jose Osuna had a legitimate complaint back there. He swings at strike 3. No contact is made that I can discern, and the ball hit in the dirt.
This is the kind of stuff that for whatever reason is not subject to review, and you can see Chris Conroy, the plate umpire, that's an extremely difficult call for him.
Sure. Blocked
by the catcher when the ball is that low in the dirt. But none of that stuff is subject to review for some reason. Drury drops another one, recovers, and throws him out. Brandon's had one critical error down there tonight and one spectacular highlight reel play. But able to rally himself that time and get the out at first.
Well, once again, hits off the heel of the glove. Fortunately, this time doesn't get far away, and Brandon's able to recover and throw on him plenty of time to get Cervelli at first base.
See Jeff Mathis running all the way down there to back up the play. 2 outs for the shortstop Jordy Mercer. A pair of intentional walks for Mercer, batting 8th tonight, and a ground out. He's 0 for 1.
If you look up at the intentional walk column at the end of the season, it's either going to be Barry Bonds or a number 8 hitter leading the league in intentional walks. And usually it's a number 8 hitter, a guy that you know, plays every day but hits at the bottom of the order in front of that pitcher. And there are many situations over the course of the year where you just don't want to face a number 8 hitter. You'd rather face the pitcher.
Beautiful night at the ballpark. 0-2 on Mercer. Got him. Wilhelmsen came in the 7th, struck out 2. Chafin on in the 8th, strikes out 2. David Peralta leads off the home half. Diamondbacks trail the Pirates 4-1.
Jackson alongside Mark Grace as we get set for Diamondbacks Live presented by CenturyLink, our post-game show. Now we're going to talk about the pitching matchup today. Trevor Williams and Taijuan Walker on the post-game. But Diamondbacks have had some chances to put some runs on the board, 1 for 8 with runners in scoring position.
Yeah, after Nick Ahmed gave them the lead with a solo homer early, all of a sudden they got a few more chances, but they did not cash them in, and Pittsburgh did.
Good news is it is not over yet. So as I said, we go to the bottom of the 8th, but we will see you after the game for D-Backs Live.
All right, thanks, guys. David Peralta leads it off against Felipe Rivero. David singled in the first. He's 1 for 3. D-backs have been out, hit 8-6. They trail it 4-1. Seen Rivero throw 101, 102 with his fastball, but he'll throw change-ups and sliders as well. Peralta kicks one off the mound, but right to Mercer at shortstop. Here's Paul Goldschmidt, 0 for 3.
First baseman, Paul Goldschmidt.
Goldie's hit safely in 4 straight games, 10 of his last 11. Homered 3 times over that stretch, but quiet so far tonight. He has struck out, grounded out, lined out to center. Fly ball, deep right field. It's gone. That's number 8. It's a 4-2 ball game. Just the 2nd earned run against Felipe Rivero all season long.
Guy throws that hard, you don't have to take a picture perfect swing. Just get the barrel of the bat on the ball, let him supply some of the power. And Goldie going oppo.
Jumbo Jack, free Jumbo Jack tomorrow with a purchase of a large drink at Jack in the Box. Jake Lamb now against the lefty Rivera. 2nd home run tonight for the Diamondbacks after Nick Ahmed's homer to lead off the 2nd. Jake has not had much luck this year against left-hand pitching. And you don't see too many lefties who throw 101 like that.
Yeah, this is a Aroldis Chapman like. Except Chapman doesn't have nearly as good a changeup as this guy does.
2 balls and 1 strike. .100 miles an hour on the inner half, and it's 2-2. Not much you can do with that. The Lambs are in place. Goes to the slider to get the strikeout. 2 down.
Against some left-handed pitchers, Jake has put together some pretty good at-bats this year, but this is not fair to a left-handed hitter.
And of course, you don't have, if you did want to hit for Lamb in that situation, he's a cleanup man, of course, but there's just not a lot of right-hand bats on that bench anyway. There's Manny Tomas. That's been one small issue for Torey Lovullo this year. There are moments where you want a right-hand bat off your bench. It's not right there. He's used Chris Iannetta and some other guys in those spots, guys who may have had that day off, but if the front line lineup is in there, there's not a whole lot of right-hand options on that bench. Archie Bradley and Randall Delgado warming up in the Sanderson Ford bullpen. Tomas waves at a changeup, and it's 1-2. Doubled up on the changeup. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Now Manny, 4-game hit streak on the line here. He has walked, struck out, and hit into a double play. And he struck out twice. Diamondbacks get 1 back. Paul Goldschmidt, his 8th home run this year, and as we head to the 9th inning, they trail the Pirates 4-2. Gila River game summary. Nick Ahmed and Paul Goldschmidt, a pair of solo homers, the only runs for the Diamondbacks. Pirates got 4 against Taijuan Walker. They lead at 4-2 as Randall Delgado was out there to start the 9th inning against Gifton Gope. And Gope hitless in the series, 0 for 3, struck out twice. took over at second base in the 7th inning, and there's ball 1. A rash line call to the bullpen. Randall Delgado, his 13th appearance of the year. Really doing a good job giving Torey Lovullo some length in that Diamondback bullpen. We've seen Randall go 3 innings or 3+ a couple of times this year and just been outstanding. And Gope, 226, the first major league player ever from Africa, signed out of South Africa by the Pirates back in 2008. And spent 8 seasons in the minor leagues trying to get to the big leagues, and now here he is. Two and two. Gifton Gope is a very good Mother's Day weekend story. His late mother Maureen raised her family in South Africa, cooking and cleaning for players on an amateur baseball team in that area. That's how Ngope was introduced to the game. Gave up cricket, took up baseball, and now he's a big leaguer. The whole family lived in a very small room near the clubhouse for an amateur team called the Randburg Mets. And the players on that team noticed that this youngster could play baseball, so they got together, chipped in, sent him to an MLB academy in Italy. That's where the Pirates spotted him, and now he's in the big leagues. Lays off that high fastball, and it's a full count, 3-2. So he says he still thinks of his late mom Maureen every day. Fair ball at third. Nice play by Jake Lamb to get the speedy Ngope. Tricky throw for Jake.
Yeah, with 2 strikes, every third baseman in baseball backs up a few extra steps. You could see where Jake had to come from to get to that ball. Had to maneuver his way around the bag at third and then throw on the run in time to get Ngope at first.
There's Adam Frazier, the left fielder. Singled in the first. He's 1 for 4. Tap to first. Goldie's got it. Delgado speeds in there to cover. 2 down. Diamondbacks in the home half of the 9th inning will have Drury, Ahmed, and Mathis 6, 7, and 8 due up. There's Josh Harrison, who doubled in the 5th. Tony Watson has been serving as the Pirate closer. He's got 7 saves this year. Had a blown save Tuesday at Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles. There is action in the Pirate bullpen. Delgado ahead of Josh Harrison, 0-2. They're looking for the baseball. Andrew McCutchen says, I already picked it up. He's in the on deck circle. The umpire, Chris Conroy, the ball boy, couldn't find the ball. Now we're set to go. Ball boy came out. Where is it? Umpire said, you know, I'm not sure. But McCutchen had taken care of it. Reaches out and drops it into left. Second hit tonight for Harrison, a 2-out single.
Not a bad pitch that time by Randall Delgado. Good slider working its way off the outside corner. Harrison just kind of extends his swing, reaches out there with one hand and hooks that ball back to left field for a base hit.
Gives Andrew McCutchen a chance. McCutchen had an RBI double in the 5th. He's 1 for 4 tonight. 2 for 11 in the series, batting .212 on the year. Dodgers are leading at Colorado 4-0. They're in the 8th inning at Coors Field. Giants won at home. They beat the Reds 3-1 behind Matt Moore, who pitched a good ball game. Padres playing the White Sox in Chicago. San Diego dropped that one 5-4, now a final. Nationals came back and beat the Phillies 6-4. Bryce Harper had a walk-off home run at Nats Park.
Celebrating his new contract.
Oh, the next one's the one he's going to celebrate.
Oh, yeah.
They agreed on terms for Bryce Harper next year, the final year of his arbitration before he hits free agency, where he's already said he wants a 10-year, $400 million deal, and he'll probably get it. To Nick Ahmed. They go the short way for the force on Harrison, and that's it. Bottom 9 on the way. Drury, Ahmed, Mathis 2 up. The only scoring for the Diamondbacks tonight against the Pirates, a pair of solo homers. Nick Ahmed in the 2nd, Paul Goldschmidt in the 8th. D-backs have been out hit 9-7, and as we head to the home half of the 9th inning here at Chase Field, they trail the Pirates 4-2. On for the save is the Pittsburgh closer, the left-hander Tony Watson, who has not recorded a save since April 26th. It's been a while. The Pirates, after all, have been scuffling. They've lost 10 of their last 13, but still Watson's numbers this year are solid. A dozen appearances, a 1.32 ERA, although he just blew a save Tuesday in LA.
Low 90s sinking fastball, gets a lot of ground balls, averaging nearly 2.5 ground balls for every fly ball out this season. Also throws an occasional straight changeup.
Diamondbacks have never had much luck against this guy. He's pitched 20 career innings against the D-backs, and he's given up only 2 earned runs. Brandon Drury leads it off. He's singled in the 7th. Drury, Ahmed, Mathis due up, then the pitcher's spot.
Loop and a blast.
Need a base runner here. Drury, as he steps in right here, 9 hits in his last 19 at bats. including 4 doubles and 2 home runs. Fastball's in there for a strike, and it's 1-2. High and outside, thought Brandon. Chris Conroy says nope, it got the corner.
You know, when pitchers work the bottom of the strike zone on the corners, you don't say too much, but the corners of the top of the strike zone, yeah, we're just a little off.
Big difference between 2-1 and 1-2.
Oh yeah,
whole new deal now.
Huge swing pitch. Well, Brandon has to be on the defensive, be ready to protect anything close to that strike zone.
Cervelli trying to make sure he's not sneaking a peek. Tried a changeup and missed. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes on Brandon Drury. Nick Ahmed on deck. Over the glove of Watson, and Gope there at the bag, and he's got it. 1 down.
It's not hit hard enough to sneak up that middle of the field. That's one of those sinking fastballs from Watson. Just pounded into the ground, and Gope right there to back up the play and get the out at first.
Well, here's Nick Ahmed, who's driven in one of the 2 runs. A home run to lead off the second, his 3rd of the year. Gracie standing by with Jody Jackson. Diamondback Live postgame show presented by CenturyLink follows our ball game. Just a quick whippy sidearm delivery that time from Watson. Changeup missed, and it's 1-1. Tried another changeup, missed again. 2 balls and 1 strike. Nick usually has a pretty good approach against left-hand pitchers. Oftentimes able to take him out to right center. Looking for a base runner here. It's a deep drive, right field. That ball is going, and it's gone! Nick Ahmed, his 2nd home run tonight, his 4th of the year, and it's a 1-run ball game. First multi-homer game.
Well, we saw Paul Goldschmidt barrel one up to the opposite field against a guy throwing 102 miles an hour. Nick picks on a sinking fastball out over the plate. Just does sneak it over that fence out there in right field for his first multi-homer game of his career.
Jeff Mathis. And again, this is where the lack of an extra right-hand bat can sometimes hurt the Diamondbacks. Descalso, the lefty, is on deck to hit for the pitcher. A jumbo jack, the 2nd one tonight, courtesy of Nick Ahmed. Mathis takes the strike, and it's 1-1. Watson really going to that changeup tonight. Mathis out in front. It's 1-2. Fly ball, pretty deep center field, but playable for McCutchen. Chris Iannetta is not on the disabled list after he was hit in the face by a pitch last night. So he would be really the right-hand bat that Torey Lovullo might normally turn to. But Diamondbacks playing a man short now and thin on the right-hand bats anyway. Have to send Dan Descalso up there against the lefty Watson with 2 outs. Daniel 1 for 9 as a pinch hitter this year. 1 base hit this month. And that was his walk-off home run into the pool in extra innings that beat the Rockies back on May 7th. One and one. Slider no good, and it's 2 balls and a strike. A.J. Pollock on deck. He would be next. Descalso ahead 3-1. Trying to get that tying run aboard and the winning run to the plate. Missed inside. Descalso reaches against the lefty. Terrific at bat by Daniel. And here comes Pollock.
He may not always get a base hit, but Daniel Descalso will give you a good at bat against a tough left-handed pitcher.
That's the 4th time that Descalso has walked as a pinch hitter this year. Chris Herman will come in and pinch run. So here you go. Herman to run for Descalso. He's the tying run. The winning run is at the plate with 2 outs. Nearly 32,000 on their feet here at Chase Field. Ball 1. Ahmed's homer got it started. Pollock trying to finish it. Big cut at that fastball, and it's a ball and a strike.
Just a challenge fastball that time after falling behind with a first pitch changeup. AJ maybe swinging a little big right there.
20 pitch inning for the Pirate closer. Missed with that fastball. 2 balls and 1 strike. Popped him up. Cervelli has a look, but it's out of play. Exciting start to Mother's Day weekend here at Chase Field. Diamondbacks trying to make sure tonight's game ends the right way. Heading into tomorrow's series finale. Two and 2 on A.J. Pollock. Full count. Peralta on deck. Osuna will hold Herman on the bag at first. Just got a piece of that 3-2 fastball.
Up and out over the plate that time to AJ. Just does get a piece of it.
About to throw his 25th pitch of this inning. 2 outs, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Here it is. Broken bat pop up. Harrison calling for it, and the Diamondbacks drop this one 4-3. Ahmed's second home run of the ball game made it close. They got the tying run to first, but Watson hangs on, and the Pirates get their first win in this series, 4-3 the final.
Yeah, you really have to go back to the starting pitcher for the Pirates tonight. Trevor Williams, an outstanding start out of the bullpen for the Pirates. Actually, his second start out of the bullpen for the Pirates. Went 5 strong innings, only gave up the Nick Ahmed home run leading off the second inning. He was outstanding tonight.
The former Sun Devil comes back to the Valley and beats the Diamondbacks 4-3 the final. Let's get the Diamondbacks live post-game show underway. It's brought to you by CenturyLink. Gracie standing by with Jody Jackson. Jody.
All right.